Alright, today we're putting the Integra JDM front end on the 240SX. So our first problem that we ran into, right here, the hood was hitting the firewall right here. So my first idea was to cut the firewall off right there, and then Shane came through and said, why don't you just cut the webbing off of the hood? So we're trying that right now. We're gonna cut all the webbing off and see if it clears the firewall right here. Here we go. Let's see if it closes how we want it to. Alright, we're close. We need to cut a little more. Exactly where I want it. Check out what we had to cut. That was hitting the firewall right there, that little bump. That was hitting the firewall as well. Now it sits nice and low. Alright, on to the fenders. This is the gist of it. No, it doesn't look right, but. So we're using the JDM front end to follow the hood line. I know it doesn't line up right now, we'll get there. And then we're using the 240 Fender to follow the door line. And we're gonna kind of just make a hybrid of the two. The new addition to the shop. Gonna cut that, try to match that line right there. We'll fix that little corner there. Bought cheap stuff, so everything's all kind of messed up and bent. So we're gonna cut it off and see if we can do something with it. So the neighbor came over and told me that everyone works from home over here, and to be mindful and to keep the noise down on the weekdays. So I just closed the garage and I'm gonna get cracking again. What we got going on here, the fender is hitting on this frame right now. I think this is a frame right. It's hitting on here, so I'm trying to notch this back as much as I can while still keeping it as much as I can so I can get the fender to line up right here. I'm gonna just keep cutting back, probably go to like about here so that I can get the fender to line up. I've got the wheel off so I have more room and I can just cut it with the bandsaw. Last time what happened was these were too long and the headlight ended up hitting this. So what we did now is we cut this one back about 6 inches. Now we have a lot more room in the front for the headlight to go back in. So we're about to weld these up, tack them back in, test fit the headlights, and potentially mount the headlights to these today. Let's get it. Alright, we got one of the bars on. Let's go ahead and try to test fit this headlight. The headlight fits in here. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect fit. Awesome. I'm happy with that. Let's try to get this mounted up. So right now I'm trying to figure out a way to mount this. So what I'm going to try to do right now is I'm just going to use this plate and I'm just going to line it up on the mounting tabs right here. And I'm just going to draw around it. So we're going to go like this. So we'll do something like that. And then what I'll use is some round stock and then I'll mount it from the headlight to the tube front. We'll see how that works out. It's gonna go. I know this thing looks ugly, but we'll clean it up in a bit, no worries. So this will go something like this. And then what I'll do is I'll weld some bar to this. And that's how we're probably gonna end up mounting it. What we're looking at right here is the mount for it is gonna get welded to the tube front right here. Gives us a fresh surface to put any type of metal onto it. Alright, a little update. If you are trying to do a JDM front end on your 240SX, I highly suggest not doing it. It's very hard. This is kind of what it looks like. It looks sick. We still got to work on a lot of the lining up. Everything's kind of just temporarily on there right now, so check it out. We have the right side, nothing's done to the right side right now. We're just kind of working from left to right. So left headlight is kind of on there. We just kind of have it tacked onto the tube front. We made our little bracket to hold the headlight, and then we're gonna use that so we can just kind of adjust it. The hood is on, webbing is cut out. Alright, left side tube front is on. Fenders. So we got the 240 fender right there, the Integra fender right there. One thing that I am running into is the wheel on the 240 fender is a lot longer, so it covers the wheel right here, and the I guess the wheelbase for the Integra is a lot shorter. So we got this whole weird thing going on here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna push the fender forward or just kind of push it out. So we'll see. We are gonna call it a day here. That's it for the K20 240 JDM front. Till next time. Day 3 on the JDM front 240 front end. Today we are figuring out the fenders. Check it out. So the frame rail right here is comes out a little too much for the JDM front fender to fit. So what I've done here is basically drew a line of what all I'm gonna cut out, and then later on we'll box this all in, and we'll have to reinforce this more because it's kind of a structural part of the car. So we're gonna have to box it in and then tie it into the frame rail somehow and create some rigidity there. So we're about to cut this all out and then try to fit the fender back on. Alright, so we notched this whole thing. So now the fender should be able to fit a little tighter there. I'm hoping I don't have to cut into here. So now we're gonna fit up the fender. If you can tell, this isn't even really a fender anymore. It's all cut up. Fits up a lot better than it did. Awesome. We continue to do the final installation on the fender. I'm gonna go ahead and get this, get the brace for the headlight officially mounted up, and we're gonna leave some room so we can still move it around a little bit and make some minor adjustments. Right, so this is the temporary holding in place for the headlight. We're gonna do 3 points of contact. One coming from here, weld right here, one coming up right here, weld right there, and then the third one, I think I'm gonna use this mounting hole right here. Gonna come up from maybe the frame rail and just bolt something up right here. So we're gonna go ahead and make some tabs and then weld some pipe to it. Quick update, this is what we came up with. Some bars coming there, and then that's welded there. We took the temporary one off. We got one coming there to that, and then we got a third one down here going to there. So this is all mounted, just tacked, just in case we need to change anything. So that's pretty sturdy, not going anywhere. And then we will probably bolt it up to the fender over here too to give it some rigidity on that side. But look at that. Look at that. It's not perfect, but it's very close. Alright, time to work on the fender. So I've been sitting here for the past hour just trying to think of another way, but this is what I've come to the conclusion to. So I'm gonna need to do. So this doesn't really line up that well. It's kind of bowed out in the middle. And I want a nice clean fit. I'm not sure if it's because the fender's messed up, or the hood is, or I guess, I don't know. This is kind of what I get for buying not a perfect kit. You know, this kit was $500 bucks, but I didn't want to spend $2,500 bucks on a new kit and cut it up. This is kind of just a test, and I don't really care what it looks like, you know, because I'm trying to crash into my friends and stuff, so it doesn't need to be perfect, but I want it to be as close as possible. So what we're gonna do here is I've grinded all the paint off both sides. What I'm gonna do for now is tack it all along here, make sure it's a perfect fit, and what I'll probably come back and do is use a heat gun, and so this thing can kind of take shape, and I'll just let it sit for a few days and keep adding heat to it so it shapes up, and and so then I could mount this fender, figure out how I'm gonna mount it. I'll probably do some push pins right here, a couple push pins here and there, but we're gonna go ahead and tack this up. I'm kind of nervous about this, but we'll see. Got it the best I can. I'm gonna let it kind of sit there and form to that, and I'll come back with like a heat gun, heat it up, so once those things are all gone, it keeps the shape, and then we'll put a couple push tabs, maybe right here, and right there, while it's still mounted like this, and then we'll come in with a little bit of sheet metal and join those two, and then we're gonna cut this wheel well out so the wheel can turn. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lights on and see how it looks. There we go. Everything lining up, everything mounted. There's gonna be some slight adjusting I'm gonna have to do, but end of day 3.